What's going on, guys? Keegan here from Punisher's Paintball. I'm here with Joel. Today we're doing a comparison video between the all-new DSR Plus and the Planet Eclipse 170R.
If you guys like this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us all over the place. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. And as always, 170Rs, DSR Pluses, in stock, punisherspb.com. Alright guys, so here we are. We have the DSR Plus and the Gtek 170R. We're going to do a little conversation about everything in this video. First things first, we're going to talk about the packaging. DSR Plus pretty much comes in this package right here. This is actually a marker that has been used by one of our team guys because we're currently sold out. By the time you guys see this video, they will be in stock. But needless to say, it usually comes with the outer wrapper as well. But this is the case of the DSR Plus. Doing a little unzipping of the gun and everything else like that. You have your UL barrel system, a set of Allen keys here, a unbranded Dye barrel cover, which I think is kind of crazy that it doesn't, at least not Dye branded. You have a quick start guide. Keegan, you always like to mention that this has a full set of, or well, it has a full guide on your O-rings as well as like velocity adjustment, how to change your battery and all that good stuff. Your warranty card,
as well as it's laminated.
And it is laminated, so you're not going to have any issues with it getting dirty and soggy and all that stuff. Your parts kit here, and then a micro USB adapter cord for firmware updates, a small thing of Dye slick lube, and then the actual marker. Keegan?
The 170R comes in this box that no one ever keeps. It's like 1 in 10 guns we get in actually has it, and most of the time it's destroyed. Then you have this nice hard case that does actually get pretty damaged pretty easily. They keep this like plastic like stuff on it that some people keep and then get tired of it being trashed, so they take it off. So unzipping this thing real quick. Right here, got to do this slow. All right. Right here, got the barrel. This is just the Shaft 5 barrel system with the one back. This is a, what is it, a 688?
689.
689 back. Got your manual. No one will ever top Planet Eclipse's manuals. You have a nice barrel cover. I will say Planet's barrel cover is probably the best that come with any gun.
I'd agree with that. Yep.
You have your part, or not your parts kit, you have your Allen keys here, just a few of them, nothing too special there, as well as some lube. Now this is 20 milliliters of lube.
That equals 2/3 of an ounce, basically.
Yes.
So it is more lube than what you get with the DSR Plus.
Correct. And then you have your parts kit here, which is really nice. This has anything from screws to extra eye cover, extra like eye cover hinges, and really anything that you need, extra detents. So
literally anything and everything that you guys need is in there. And it's also, the manual nicely lays out everything for you when it comes to the diagrams, the parts diagrams. So you're going to have anything that you need to repair the gun right off the bat, which is really nice.
Yep. And then you got the gun.
So what do you think, Keegan, between the two packaging wise, to start off with? I'm going to go with Planet Eclipse. I mean, it's hard to beat Planet Eclipse packaging. My only thing is like, to your point, the aluminum case does dent, which is kind of a pain in the butt. But
although, small thing, if you have multiple cases, like of the Planet cases, given that they're harder cases, you can put both of them in like the small slot on your Planet bag and then use it as a chair.
Mind blown.
That's what I do.
All right, guys, getting into the guns. First things first, we'll talk about the weight. We're going to weigh both of these bad boys, and then we are going to talk about the actual markers. So, Keegan, you want to do the honors here?
We're going to turn this bad boy on, and we are zeroed out.
Richter scale.
170R going on right now. 1 pound, 14.5 ounces.
All right, 1 pound, 14.5 ounces.
I bet this is going to be 2 pounds and 2.2 ounces.
It's like we've done this before or something.
I was right.
Wow, look at that, 2 pounds. So 170R is lighter than the DSR Plus.
2 ounces.
2 ounces to the naked hand. I can't really tell the difference.
Yeah.
Naked hand.
You really
as compared to the gloved hand.
Yeah.
All right. So, anyways, let's tap into the guns. DSR Plus comes with the core UL barrel system. Core meaning this back is slightly different milled, but it is UL thread and all that stuff when you're trying to screw in your UL tip. This is a 688 back. It only comes with one back. Keegan?
I've got the Shaft 5 barrel system. One back. It's a 689 barrel back. I've been told you can find more of these. I've never seen somebody with multiple of them.
Yeah, every once in a while we do get them like on our used guns and all that stuff. But you know, the other thing that you can do with the 170R is if you want to, you can get the FR back, which is basically freak adaptable and put freak inserts in, and it will adapt to the barrel tip. Overall, I'm going to give it to this when it comes to the barrel. I can't believe Keegan's agreeing with me because Keegan's not a big fan of the UL barrel system. I think that the barrel system of the Shaft 5 is, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's just like, it's kind of like...
Yeah, they need to update it, go something a bit different. Yeah. It's really like, it's never been like a icon barrel system.
No,
like the UL or the...
Freak.
Shaft FL or the Freak.
Yeah.
Like,
I agree with that. I think that the sound signature on this is a little bit better. It's got better porting. It's got all this porting up here as well as linear porting here. So barrel system is going to take it to the Dye DSR Plus. Next up, we're going to talk about the feed neck. Feed neck, I don't know what to say. Like... it's so not even close on this one. This one is a little bit higher than that one, than the 170R, and this is not a swivel feed neck, so they changed it from the DSR, which was the swivel feed neck, to the locking feed neck of the Dye DSR Plus. This needs an Allen key to adjust the tightness of the lever. I will say that this is like a really nice aluminum on the lever. It is, and it's a long lever. But Keegan, I think the 170R takes it. You want to explain why? Hands
down. First off, it's lower. I believe that this is a low-rise and not a mid-rise feed neck compared to, I mean...
It's not a lot. It's probably like a millimeter or two, but it on the gun, it actually makes a difference.
Yeah. Got just as good of a lever as that one. It's pretty big. It wraps around the gun and it doesn't sit flush with the feed neck. It actually lifts up a bit, and then it's got your wheel here so that you can actually adjust it without an Allen key, which is really nice. So we're both going to say Planet Eclipse 170R on this one. I can already tell you that much.
Yep, agreed. All right, moving on to the next thing, bolt system of the marker. The Dye DSR Plus has the Arc Plus bolt system. So Arc Plus bolt system is updated in a few different ways. It's got the flex face bolt compared to the regular DSR. It also has one less O-ring on the bolt system, which makes it a little bit better as far as efficiency and shot quality and all that stuff. Super reliable bolt system that was proved with the arc bolt of the DSR Plus. We got about 1,400 shots efficiency-wise with the DSR Plus. Overall, I like this gun. I think, or the bolt and the way that it releases and all that stuff. I like the sound of the shot and all that stuff when it comes to this. Keegan?
So you have the standard Gamma core bolt on the Planet Eclipse 170R. It comes with the hard tip. You can buy an upgraded soft tip, the ST3 bolt. However, that is an additional cost to this marker. Overall, I mean, the bolt system's been around for quite some time and has been proved to be very, very reliable. It's kind of more of a clacky shot rather than like a smooth or a like snappy shot, but overall feels pretty decent.
I think overall for me, I'm going to choose the DSR Plus. I like how it shoots more, and I think it's just, I'm going to get a lot of Planet haters for this, but I think that the ARC system is just as reliable as the Gamma core goes. And one other thing that I like to mention is that I like how easy this is to slide in, and it just pops into place, which is super nice. Like, it just clicks into place, and with that one, you have to lift up and pull out. It's just like a small thing for me, but I don't know why. I hate how hard it is to pull that up on the 170R. There's just a personal thing. I don't know. Some people are probably going to disagree. Whatever.
I'm actually going... See, this one's tough for me. I haven't really... the arc bolt, to me, hasn't really been around quite long enough to call it just as reliable as the Gamma Core bolt to me. It's kind of a toss-up between it for me, because I actually prefer the shot of that, but I know that this is just like the most reliable bolt system on the market. So it's kind of a toss-up for me. It can go either way depending on how I feel every day. So I'll call that one a tie.
A tie. Okay, that's fair. All right, let's talk about electronics.
Electronics. All right.
And I guess we'll just kind of go fully into it. We'll talk about the eyes, the battery, and the actual board itself.
Yeah.
Keegan?
All right. So I guess we'll start with the eyes. This has toolless eyes, theoretically, so does that. So you can just, if I can get it with my greasy hands, you actually have these little latches here that you can pull the eyes off with, and it actually features something that the CS2 and a few other of the Planet Eclipse guns do, where it pretty much has a mirror inside of the eye cover, and rather than having the eyes be like right in the barrel breech and prone to having paint get all over them, you actually have the kind of lasers or lights bounce off of these mirrors at each other. So it's kind of a cool feature that it's like your eyes, your actual eyes are very unlikely to get paint covered on.
So for the DSR Plus, basically very similar in the sense that you've got the this turns. I will say that I do like this more. So you have this twist knob. I will say it's a pain in the butt to turn.
It'll wear in. While he's doing
I want to make sure that I'm turning it the right way. So
you are. While he's doing that, battery on this one, same thing. Pull off the grip, and the battery is right there.
Yeah. So here's my thing. I like the fact that this one locks into place, whereas the 170R doesn't. It's a small feature, but I will say this. I think that the 170R being able to access the eyes, and the eyes are normal compared to the eye pipe of the DSR Plus, is definitely a winner on that side of things. So for me, it's really close. It's probably a tie. I'm personally, if I was biased towards one, I'm probably still going to pick the DSR Plus, because I like the fact that this locks, and I like the eye pipe design. I've never had any issues. I used the M3 Plus for a year, and I never had any issues with eyes when it came to the M3 Plus.
Except for when he kept shooting the eye pipe out.
Well, there's that. Don't dry fire your marker with the eye pipe in and the barrel off. But needless to say, that is one thing to mention, is that, yeah, you can't dry fire the marker with the barrel off. That's a good point. But Keegan?
All right, so the board on the 170R is a pretty solid board. I've never seen any issues happening with the board, like having micro switches go bad or anything like that. Getting into programming mode is really easy. Hold the trigger and turn the marker on. It's fairly self-explanatory once you're in there. Planet Eclipse does have some of their weird settings where rather than like having firing mode, it kind of has like ramp set up and like linear and
like preset verse. That is kind of confusing a little bit,
so it can be a little bit confusing there, but overall it's pretty self-explanatory once you like read the manual, which most people probably haven't done with their markers.
Probably not. No, most people don't. Most people just try and want to plug and chug. The board on the DSR Plus is pretty much the same board that came with the Dye DSR, and it's got a 5-way joystick, which is a nice feature. So you can turn the gun on. It also has an audible noise to it, so you know when the marker's turned on and when it's not. It has a LED display at the bottom. So does the 170R. But I do like the fact that this is audible. But it is super confusing to try and adjust everything. The 5-way joystick goes up, down, all up, down, side to side, as well as you can press it. So that's why it's 5-way. But needless to say, you can change a bunch of different settings on here. It has different player profiles and all that stuff. Board wise, for what most people are trying to do, it's going to be very similar. I'm going to probably choose the board of the 170R just because I feel it's a little bit easier to tune. It's not as complex as the DSR. Dye's known for having these complex boards like on their M3 Plus and this gun. And I just think that and the other thing too is this joystick, because it is smaller, it hurts my fingers when I'm trying to go side, up, down, whatever the case may be. It hurts my fingers trying to adjust it. So I think overall, I'm going to choose the 170R when it comes to that. And then overall, electronic-wise, I'm probably going to choose... Electronic-wise, I'm going to choose the 170R.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you...
Same reasons for you. Being able to actually access your eyes easily. You can on the Dye DSR Plus, but it's difficult. It is a big feature for me. Toolless battery, both are toolless. You're not going to have any issues pulling this off midpoint. I mean, it's on there. It's not like the M3's front grip where you can pull it off pretty easily. Board is simple and fairly easy to use. It's a lot easier to use than the DSR Plus. So electronics wise, I'm going to give it to the 170 for that reason.
All right, guys, so next thing on the list is ergonomics. Keegan, which one ergonomically in the hands are you going to choose between the 170R and the DSR Plus, and why?
I honestly think I'm going to pick the DSR Plus. I have never really enjoyed the feel of the 170R. I love the feel of my CS2, but the 170R actually feels skinnier in the back, but has a longer face to it. Definitely. And this front grip is kind of just weirdly sized, and even for me, I don't really notice it on any gun, but even for me, I notice that this front grip is pretty small, short wise. So I personally enjoy the change that they made to the DSR Plus is that they brought it out a bit more, made more of a gap here, so it feels better to me. The trigger to me feels much better. I feel like I can walk this trigger better than I can walk this trigger. And overall, I feel like I can hold on to this gun better than I can the 170R.
I agree with that. I think ergonomically, I like the U-all frame of the Dye DSR Plus. I like the trigger better. To Keegan's point, I feel that this just feels higher quality. I think part of it is because it's I don't know if it's a different aluminum or the fact that this aluminum's rounded off, and the trigger is definitely thinner than the Planet marker. I think that's one of my biggest quirks with every single Planet marker is their triggers are so thick, and it drives me nuts, and I don't know why, it just does. But overall, this flat face edge 2 trigger of the DSR Plus is definitely nice. I wish the trigger guard was bigger. That is definitely something that the 170R does have. But the other thing, to your point, Keegan, is that both of these have a really short foregrip. I feel that even feels shorter in my hands than the DSR Plus, and I think that ergonomically, I just like how this feels. They slimmed down the foregrip on this, so it's definitely thinner than the foregrip on that. That just I don't know how else to say it, dude. It feels like a chub. It feels like a choke. This one seems more streamlined and profiled. That one is just really fat, and I've got big hands, and most of the time I like bigger markers, and I like having a little bit of weight to my marker. That drives me nuts, and I don't know why, but it just does. Yeah. So ergonomically, I'm gonna go with the DSR Plus as well. Price-wise, Keegan, both of these are going to be right in the same price range. So for base colors of the Dye DSR Plus, you're at $1,000. For the PGA colors, the PGA Slick as well as the PGA Copper, you're going to be at $1,100 price point. Keegan, price point on the 170R.
So for the 170Rs, you're looking at $900, so a little bit cheaper. That'll let you get the needed upgrades for it.
Oh, that's true. I mean,
with the bolt, with the ST3 bolt and stuff like that. But you're looking at $900 for the base colors, and then it all the other colors kind of range. You can get an infamous edition with their laser engraving for the same price, or you can get one of their custom anode Predator ones for
It was slightly more, but
Yeah.
the one thing to point out is that the Planet Eclipse doesn't really offer any specialized anodized colors, so that's definitely something that the Dye DSR Plus has an advantage over the 170R when it comes to colors. And I also like the gloss finish of most of these guns, like the blue as well as the lava is going to be gloss finish, and then the PGA colors are gloss finish. So it just looks better personally. But for $100 more price wise, let's talk about mech real quick before we make a final decision. Mech wise, mech frame has yet to be released for the DSR Plus, so we can't really compare the two. But the 170R does have mech as well, so that is something to consider. And one thing to mention with the 170R is that everything is integrated within the grip frame, so it's super simple to change that out. It's 2 screws, you unplug the solenoid, and you can easily swap out between the mech frame and the electronic frame on the 170R. But the mech frame is going to run you another $150 to $200. So once again, you're going to be at $1,000 plus for the mech frame plus that. So overall, the DSR Plus is more expensive. But Keegan, which one are you going to choose and why?
I am going to choose the DSR Plus, actually.
Okay.
Feels better in my hands. I prefer the shot of it. I believe that it is actually possibly going to be more efficient. Slightly.
This got 1,400, just for anybody that's curious, 1,400 shots, 7745, roughly, probably in that same price range. I don't think we've actually done an efficiency test on the 170R, so that'll be coming soon.
We haven't. Barrel, I actually like this barrel more. Really, just about everything on it I prefer over the 170. And if I had the choice, if someone laid both on the table and said pick one, I'd end up choosing the DSR Plus.
Yeah, so I'd agree, because like what's funny to me is, like, on paper the 170R wins, right? It's got better features, it's easier to use, like the board's easier to use, the gamma core has been tried and tested as far as like it's proven it's not going to break down on you. Keegan, to your point, like, okay, maybe the arc bolt system might be not as reliable, but they're close. But needless to say, you know, with the gamma core what you're getting. With that said, I don't know, it's just something about the DSR Plus that feels better, right? Like you're saying, the shot quality, in my opinion, is better on the 170R. I'm just not a big fan of how on the DSR Plus, excuse me. I'm not a fan of how the 170R shoots. And the other thing too is ergonomically, this feels a lot better in the hands compared to the 170R. And like what you're getting, what you're not getting with the DSR Plus, in the sense of, okay, for $100 more, you're not getting the easy to tune board. But I would say overall, this just feels better in my hands, and I like how it shoots. And for the most part, it's just as reliable. So for all three of those reasons, I'm going to spend that extra $100 because I don't like how that feels and I don't like how that shoots. So yeah, so needless to say, I think we chose a winner between the two. I'm picking the DSR Plus. Keegan's picking the DSR Plus. So with that said, guys, I hope that you guys enjoyed this comparison video. And if you are interested in either of these markers, we have the 170R as well as the DSR Plus in stock. So head on over to punisherspb.com, pick one of these bad boys up, and we will see you guys in the next video.